A member of my Facebook group wrote an interesting post today. He said that he's no longer as excited for this Gennady Golovkin Canelo Alvarez fight as he once was, because in his view, Golovkin lost his last fight against Danny Jacobs. And he was wondering how many other people feel the same way. Now, I think I can see where he's coming from. I guess he is saying that Golovkin is no longer the #1 middleweight. So maybe he'd rather see Danny Jacobs fighting Canelo because he wants to find out who the best guy in the world is. I'm assuming that's kind of where he's coming from, and that's why it's taken some luster off this fight, because he doesn't necessarily view Golovkin as the #1 middleweight anymore. Maybe you'll correct me on that if that's not the angle he was coming from. For me, and I had Jacobs beating Golovkin too, but for me, it hasn't taken any shine off this Golovkin-Canelo fight because it's still a great style matchup. Whether I believe Danny Jacobs beat Golovkin or not, it's irrelevant to me, to be honest. It's the style matchup that I like here. Golovkin's style clashing with Canelo's style. Now, this guy's initial post sparked a conversation about whether Canelo can do as well as Danny Jacobs did, because even those people who had Golovkin winning, and there are a hell of a lot of people who thought Golovkin won, even those people would concede that Jacobs did far better against Golovkin than anybody else has in a championship fight so far. And he did far better than I think most people expected him to, including myself. I thought he'd get stopped. So it sparked a debate as to whether Canelo can do as well as Jacobs or go one better and actually win the fight. Most people seem to be suggesting that Canelo won't do as well as Danny Jacobs because his feet are slower than Jacobs, he's shorter than Jacobs, he's smaller than Jacobs, he might not be as physically strong as Danny Jacobs. He don't have the reach that Danny Jacobs has. He don't have the kind of movement that Jacobs has, where he can give Golovkin lateral movement and get a breather and not always be under constant pressure like shorter, slower-footed fighters are when they fight Triple G. So all of that may be true in terms of the attributes that Danny Jacobs had that made him successful, which, a lot of which Canelo don't have. All that may be true. But at the same time, don't forget that Canelo has attributes that Danny Jacobs don't have. Yeah, Canelo don't have the foot speed of a Jacobs or the height or the reach, so on and so forth. Probably not even as powerful as Jacobs in terms of punching. But Canelo is a much better body puncher than Danny Jacobs. Oh, yes, he is. And I think that's Canelo's best chance of victory, actually, is to go to Triple G's body, because nobody's really ever done it before. Triple G, from what I saw in the Danny Jacobs fight, is a guy who can be overwhelmed, because there were moments in that Danny Jacobs fight, particularly in the later rounds, where Triple G was looking like he was overwhelmed by what Danny Jacobs was doing to him. Jacobs was hitting him with all kind of shots, combinations, being aggressive on the inside. And there was moments where Triple G just kind of froze and he didn't really do anything. And it was the same in the Willie Monroe fight. In the Willie Monroe fight, he said that he allowed Monroe to hit him. I'm not so sure now. I don't think he allowed Monroe to hit him. I think that there's a chink in Triple G's armor where if somebody's really unloading on him, he can kind of go into a little bit of a shell. Now, there's no question that Triple G has got a tremendous chin. I mean, people can debate the scoring of the Danny Jacobs fight all they want, but if it wasn't for the fact that Triple G has an iron jaw, the judges wouldn't have been needed in that fight because he would have got knocked out. With the amount of clean shots he got hit with, and Danny Jacobs can punch. So, Triple G's got a tremendous chin. The obvious thing would be, if you can't hurt him to the head, go to his body. And nobody's ever done this before, really. And certainly nobody with the body punching ability of a Canelo has ever done it before. So I think that's Canelo's best chance of victory in this fight, is to go to Triple G's body and see what happens. Go to his body hard. Make a committed, concerted effort to attack Triple G's body and see what happens. You know, I think that's that could be the key to Canelo possibly winning the fight. And also, Canelo is a better inside fighter in general than Danny Jacobs. Now, Danny Jacobs did some pretty clever stuff on the inside where he was ducking his head low, but he'd still have, you know, he'd still be swinging punches over the top while he's ducking his head low and protecting his chin on the inside against Golovkin. If you watch some of the highlight footage, I think there's a video online called Danny Jacobs best moments versus Golovkin, something like that. You'll see some of the slow-mos where Jacobs has his head tucked down, his chin tucked down on the inside, but his left hand is kind of looping over the top of Golovkin's guard and cracking him in the side of the head. So, you know, very sneaky, clever ways of getting shots through on Golovkin on the inside. Canelo is not going to do anything as unorthodox as that, but he's got shorter arms than Jacobs. Still got very quick hands. I'm not sure whose hands are quicker, his or Jacobs, but I would say Canelo's hands are quicker on the inside than Jacobs. Maybe Jacobs' hands are quicker at long range, but on the inside, Canelo with the shorter arms, the more compact punches, I would say, are quicker than Danny Jacobs' shots up close. So that's something that you have to take into account. Canelo, in my view, is a more formidable combination puncher up close than Danny Jacobs is, and a much better body puncher. So, yeah, Jacobs has got certain things Canelo ain't got, but Canelo's also got certain things Jacobs ain't got, so don't discount those. So let me know how you feel about it, people. Are you still looking forward to the fight? You know, has it taken any luster off it? The fact that Golovkin looked like he was struggling against Danny Jacobs, or in the view of many, he actually lost. Has it taken any luster off this Golovkin-Canelo fight for you? Or are you like me, just as excited for it as you ever were, because it's a clash of styles? You know, that's how I feel, people. And one last thing, there was something else I was thinking about, and I've lost my train of thought here. There was something else I wanted to mention about this fight, about the style matchup between, oh yeah, that's the thing, the chin, right? People are saying that Golovkin's going to get, Canelo's going to get knocked out and whatever. This is what the majority of people are saying. Danny Jacobs was never known for a great chin. In fact, Danny Jacobs has always been a little bit suspect around the whiskers. He got dropped by Sergio Mora. He got knocked straight out, not out cold, but, you know, he was properly knocked out by Dmitry Pirog. He's had plenty of shaky moments in fights. So this isn't the guy with the sturdiest chin, and yet he went 12 rounds with Golovkin. Not only did he go 12 rounds with Golovkin, but he wasn't afraid to exchange on the inside with Golovkin. And this is a guy whose chin is not that great. Yeah, he got dropped once by Golovkin, but he didn't seem that hurt when he got dropped. And he never came close to getting dropped again for the rest of the fight. So if Danny Jacobs can take Golovkin's power fairly comfortably in the end, why are we assuming that Canelo can't take his power? You know, I've always leaned towards Golovkin winning this fight because of the style matchup, but I don't think it's going to be easy at all, to be honest with you. I don't think so. Especially not after Golovkin's last couple performances, especially the Jacobs performance. I don't think it's going to be easy. Golovkin has a good jab, but everything else about his boxing is really quite mechanical, kind of robotic. And that was exploited, and that was exposed in the Jacobs fight, and even in the Kell Brook fight to a lesser degree. Canelo is a much more fluid fighter than Golovkin, way more fluid. You know, look at the Kell Brook fight and imagine Canelo Alvarez in there instead of Brook. The shots that Brook was able to land, Canelo would have been able to land better shots than that, harder shots than that, and be following up with body shots. He wouldn't have his head straight up in the air like Kell Brook did, ready and waiting for the left hook. He's going to have his arms up, tucked, ready to block shots and come back with those vicious combinations on the inside. Kell Brook hit Golovkin with uppercuts. Canelo would be hitting him with uppercuts and following up with left hooks to the body. I'm very much looking forward to this fight. And I'm not here trying to say I'm picking Canelo, but boy, I see this as a very, very tough night for Golovkin, to be honest with you. So let me know how you feel in the comment section below, people. If you haven't done so already, make sure you click the notification bell. Below this video, it should be next to the subscribe button. And that will give you notifications for all my future uploads. And also, take a look at the videos appearing on screen right now or in the next few moments. Other videos which I've recorded recently, you might want to go take a look at those. All right, so thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Sharing is caring. All right, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. It's all good. It's your boy Hatman, I'm out.